Good evening, spooky spooks. My name is Jess. I put the J in JT Reads, and welcome to my TBR game for March. March. Let that just sink in. We are approaching March. When this video goes out, we're probably already in March. Crazy. First of all, before we get into books, I would like you to appreciate this lengthy daffodil, I found in my garden. Look at it. Length. You can rest there until I find some form of bottle that I can put you in that's just as long as you are. Before we get started, have you got a warm drink or a water or any type of beverage of your choice? I can wait. That's the stuff. Let's get cracking. Do I need to take my glass off? Can you see? Ring light. Okay, we'll work with it. I do need to be able to see. Let's roll the clip of the gameplay and you can see what cards I picked for this month. Let's go. Phew! I took the glass off, that ring light reflection was annoying me. So the cards I got for March were BIPOC characters and or author, something spooky, a book based on a true story, more than 4-star rating on Goodreads, and written by an author with an ethnicity different to my own. I did then also get a double up where I can use 2 prompts for 1 book. Let's find some books to read. So first up, for my BIPOC author and or characters prompt, I am already reading And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott. That's why this is just a dust jacket. I think I'm maybe 4% so far through, so I've only just begun it last night. But this is described as an urgent and unflinching look at spiritual inheritance, womanhood, denial, and false allyship, which speeds to an unpredictable and surreal climax. First of all, the cover. Really excited for this one, hence why I've already started reading it. So that's book number 1. Next up, for my something spooky prompt, I'm going to read What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. This is the sequel to What Moves the Dead, which I read last year and loved. I think we all know by now if it's T. Kingfisher, I'm gonna read it. So I don't know if this is actually a sequel or whether it's just a spin-off novel. Oh no, it says book 2 of the Sworn Soldier series, the hair-raising follow-up to the award-winning What Moves the Dead. Okay, so definitely a sequel. I don't actually know much about this other than I loved the first book, so I'm just going to go in blind and hope it's as good as the first one. I believe it is rooted in folklore though, so that should be really interesting. Next up, I'm using my double up bonus for the prompts, more than 4-star ratings on Goodreads and based on a true story, and I'm going to read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. And I think I might be slightly stretching the prompt based on a true story, but it is based on David Copperfield, which is based on a true story. So it's based on a true story. Based on a book that's based on a true story. I'm making it work because I don't have many books on my shelves that are based on a true story. I could read something about witches, which is technically rooted in true stories, but don't often read stories based on true stories. What a mouthful. I believe this has 4.5 star rating on Goodreads. I'm gonna need to check. What is your rating? It has a 4.52 rating on Goodreads, so definitely more than 4 stars, loosely based on a true story, and I'm making it count. Last up in the novel prompts, I have the prompt written by an author with a different ethnicity to my own, and I am picking up Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. My uncle actually lent me this at the end of last year. I think I mentioned it in my TBR Jar video. It is actually in my TBR Jar, but I'm choosing it for this because I want to read it. And spoiler alert, I have already started. It's really good so far. It's very quick-paced, very light humour, heavy subject. So I'm really enjoying it, and I will let you know how I get on this month. So lastly, for my TBR game, I pulled the poetry Deep in Time. I'm introducing this into my TBR game where each month when I play my TBR game, I'm going to pick a poetry book from a separate jar. Let me show you the jar. This is the poetry jar. It's different from my TBR jar here, which has all of my novels in from the top shelf. This just has the poetry books I own, and some of them I will have read before, but that's okay. I think poetry is meant to be reread, so once I've finished a book, I will put it back in here to pick up another day. Let me find it on the shelf. Thankfully that was a bendy book and I could squeeze it out, but this is Deep in Time, poems by Cora Greenhill. It's a cool cover. Cora's poetry cuts to the bone and illuminates the heart. Oh, it has illustrations. An illustration by Valerie T. Bechtold. That is so cool. I have owned some of these poetry books since I was a preteen, so I need to get through some of them. I've actually never read this before. As I said, some of them on the pile I have read before, but I have never even opened this before. So I'm very excited to get stuck into this. I might read one this evening. I think maybe I'll read one every evening throughout the month. That would be quite nice. So let's stick it on the TBR pile. Or the TBR dump zone. That too. So hi, editing Jess here. Wow. I realised watching that back that I landed on the TBR jar tile and picked out the C and then never mentioned it again. So I will also be reading that in March. Okay, bye. So those were the books that I plan to read in March. As always, if I finish early in the month, like I did in February, I'll probably pick up something else that I fancy reading, because this doesn't seem like too many books to get through. I think it's going to be a good month. Last month I felt like it was a very big challenge. This month feels a little more relaxed, which is nice because we've got 31 days in which to squeeze them all into. As always, if you have any spooky recommendations for me, any witches, any fae romance, please drop them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, but thank you so much for being here, for sharing this community with me, for taking the time out of your day to listen to me talk about books that I'm reading. There is no greater honour. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!